What's up, YouTube? John here, as promised, bringing you another projected song. I'm going to try to go through the whole record in order, like I said, not to skip anything. A lot of requests for a lot of the songs, and it's good for me to kind of get a refresher. As we're working on the new projected record, it's also good for me to kind of get a baseline of where we were versus on, where we're going. I want to make sure that the new record is as good, if not better, than where we were. About 14 songs in, got a lot of vocal ideas, but I'm not really going to do anything or commit anything until we get with the rest of the guys. But out of the 14, I'd say there's a good 6 or 7 that I'm feeling really strong about, at least chorus and verse wise. And when I get all my homework done, get all the ideas kind of in a pile before we sit down and start to hash stuff out, who's going to sing what, who's going to play what, and just kind of see how the guys are feeling about it. They're the ones who kind of let me know how they're feeling first before I take it to anyone else. And they definitely help steer these songs, in the right direction the first time around. So it'll be a lot of fun doing it the second time around. This song's called Hello. It's our oldest, probably tuning. This is basically a drop D tuning, but we're a step and a half down. So we got B, F sharp, B, G sharp, C sharp. This is kind of the basis for all of the Sevendust tunings. We've got a few higher and a few lower, but this is kind of our starting point for everything. Important thing to note about it is, even though I'm tuned to B, the key of the song is E flat or D sharp. Main riff never leaves this position. My index finger sits on this 4th fret, and I basically pedal off this thing. It's a 2-string riff. You can play it however you want if you're more comfortable doing it in a different position. I know sometimes in the Sevendust world I'll play something a certain way if I'm sitting down like this in the studio, and then we get to rehearsals and we start throwing vocals on top, and I realize that a different position might be a little bit more convenient, with the vocal thing going on and the physical position of how I'm playing the guitar. Sometimes I'll sit down and I'll do things what I like to call dime bag style, and then when I actually stand up and play them, I'll actually sing and play them Hetfield style, because it's just a little easier for me to pull off live. The main riff, like I said, this finger never leaves the 4th fret. Slowly it goes like this. Trickiest thing about the riff is the turn. There's an open A or F sharp in this tuning. Not that difficult to pull off, but that's where that extra note's coming from. A lot of people, when you do it at speed, it's kind of hard to kind of catch what's going on. So that's the extra note that's in there. Anyway, no more talking. Let's get into this thing. I'll jump into the second measure because it's kind of tricky getting in here, but here we go. you have it. Pretty straightforward. The main riff that's going on underneath the solo, basically just those two chords pedaling back and forth. E has a little climb that he does, but that's pretty much the gist of the whole song. Hopefully I'll be able to get on Watch It Burn within the next few days and kind of get caught back up. Give you guys a little bit of time to kind of dig into this stuff. Like I said, I'm real big on going this way up and down the neck, so you're going to see a lot of this over the projected record. That's kind of my vibe and my style. I know it's easier to go this way, but as a percussionist and a drummer, I'm used to going, you know, from left to right, no pun intended. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and be watching out for the next one. See you.